me, Gamma Gamma means leadership. As the incoming president, my executive and director boards, all of my members exemplify different types of leadership, and it's such a privilege working with all of them. It's so nice to see everyone work together and bring out different leadership styles. Some of them take more of a quiet leadership role, others like to delegate, and some of them like to use a leadership role by being very outgoing, being really fun and humorous. And it's really nice to see everyone work together as a group. I noticed when I go into interviews with recruiters, they're always asking for leadership events. Tell me about a time when you exemplified leadership, and I always go to my experience within PSE. It really means a lot to know that when I walk into an interview, I'm confident with what is on my resume. I can pull from a leadership example, and it's always pointing back from PSE. The opportunities I've had within PSE have just put me above and beyond everyone else within my class. I mean, even in the candidate pool, I feel confident walking in that interview because I know the opportunities I've received out of PSE will benefit me in the future.
The PSE interview process is perhaps one of the most valuable assets PSE offers to its members. May it be going out for your first or second round interview, meeting the chapter, or actually interviewing from the other side of the table. And this is because if you can really understand what it means to be an effective interviewer, you can essentially develop a competitive advantage against the other interviewees who will really be biting at the opportunity to have the job you are going out for. In my personal experience, I would say there's a very strong correlation between the experiences I was able to gain from coming out for PSE and actually succeeding my junior year and landing an internship through the interview process. And I'm fairly confident in saying that many of the other members in PSE would share the same feelings about their experiences as well.
PSE holds 2 large service events a year to raise money for Starfish Children's Fund, which was an organization originally started by a PSE member here and is currently raising money to help build a school for the blind in India where the children are seen as damaged or something's wrong because they're blind. And we are also starting to get involved with some corporate sponsors and going to Africa to help underprivileged people there. More service opportunities than I would have ever had in my entire life had I gone with another service organization. Since it's run like a small business, that applies to the service projects as well. So we're able to gain the most revenue and therefore have the most effect for the people that we raise the money for. PSE was able to bring back Dance Marathon to Miami's campus 2 years ago, and last year we were able to raise over $20,000 for Cincinnati Children's Hospital, and I had the privilege of actually being on the board for Dance Marathon in charge of hospital relations, and the most rewarding thing for me was seeing the children and their parents come to the event and having the 6-year-olds thank us for the money that we raised because they know how much it helps them, it helps their friends, and it helps those that aren't here anymore.
PSE to me is real-world experience. I think one of the best things I've gotten out of PSE is just the working with actual clients besides just projects through PSE. One of my favorite clients was Trendenzas, which is a company that just started up in Chicago, and actually she graduated through PSE, and so I think we have really good alumni connections that sort of get you real-world experience. And so I did logos and branding for her, and I think one of the great things is she offered to work with me more once I was out of school as well. So it's a really good contact. And just basic projects I get within PSE are even different than my classwork too. So, while I get to do posters for clubs on campus and stuff, a lot of my classwork is a lot more restricted. So this is just a good variety of work to put in my portfolio.
PSE means to me the new member experience. As a new member this past semester, I really focused on being able to take advantage of the network that I was entering into, as well as the new projects that I did with College Suites. Through this, I was able to really expand the way I viewed business from just an outside view to one who really has to go through the whole process. I found this to be one of the most rewarding and both educational experiences I ever went through, and it was really successful. Also, we did the service project with Dance Marathon. It was great for bonding with everybody, and you could just tell that PSE is more than a fraternity, it's like a friendship, and you just grow in your business and personal lives as well.
When I got into PSE my freshman year, I really had no idea the amount of professional development that I would get from this organization. Having a leadership position last year really allowed me to manage projects and interact with real customers that were paying PSE money for our work, which was really exciting. My position as Director of Advertising and Promotions last year really allowed me to translate the information that we were learning into the classroom into real-world situations, which I greatly credit to my opportunity to work in an advertising agency this last summer, and then which translated into a job offer my senior year, which was also really exciting. So I credit a huge portion of my success in the real world to the real world experience that PSE has given me.
Now personally, what I look for in professional development is something that's going to better me as a person. I joined a business fraternity so that when I go out into the business world, I'm not just going to look better, I'm not going to have something on my resume that's going to land me the job. But well beyond that, once we land jobs, or once we're able to say all these great things we did within the business fraternity, we're going to be able to excel at our jobs and get those promotions that we want, and eventually hopefully become an executive, a business owner, and that is all of our dreams. And it's not gonna be looking good at that point in time. You have the job. What's on your resume is irrelevant. It's gonna be about being good. It's gonna be about the leadership experience that you had within the chapter, the skills that you learned, the people you met, and finally, basically bringing it all together, it's gonna be about the professional development you had and being able to present your talent at a level where people are gonna really appreciate what you do.